Creature Commandos, streaming on Max. I just finished the finale, and I love this show. And they leave it open for a season 2 with different characters. And I think it's been confirmed for a season 2, but let me tell you that this series, okay, this series, Creature Commandos, is a classic, okay? I loved in the season finale, it had to do with the amphibian girl, and that whole thing where Lady Frankenstein has to shoot that princess, and just the whole story of the princess and her army of knights that ultimately become the enemy, but she's also manipulating the team. She's also manipulating the Creature Commandos team by sleeping with their leader, right? Which is Rick Flag's father, Rick Flag Sr. And they get into all the characters. Each episode revolves around a different character. And there's a totally different spin on Frankenstein. Okay? Totally different spin on Frankenstein. And I'm going to have to go back and read the New 52 comic, Frankenstein Agent of Shade. Because they got, different things from there, and they, their first appearance, Creature Commandos' first appearance, was in Weird War Tales. And Weird War Tales, I knew Weird War Tales, but I never read their first appearance. I read like every other issue but the first appearance of the Creature Commandos. Okay? And they actually recently came out, DC came out with a collected edition. But I was basically reading the one-off tales of Weird War Tales. And this series now is so rare. But it had to do with like little war stories. And I was thinking, how is he going to adapt something like those classic World War II comic books, right? Have that same sort of feel as the classic World War II comic books, but at the same time make it feel like Weird War Tales. And I think only James Gunn is capable of doing it, man, because let me tell you, the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, they are all good. And see, this one has to do with an army group finding a woolly mammoth in the Arctic. Okay? I mean, look at this. And I had, years before Creature Commandos was announced or anything, I had walked into some random comic book shop. Okay? And I had heard about Weird War Tales. Okay? And I was just interested in reading one of these comics from the World War II era that didn't have to do with superheroes. It just had to do with like a sci-fi tale during World War II. So I didn't stumble across this series because of Creature Commandos. Years before, I walked into some random comic book shop in Sarasota, Florida, and I bought volume. I bought like the first mini series, the first volume of Robin, right? Of the first Tim Drake Robin series. I got the first volume of that, and then I had gotten 4 issues of Weird War Tales. And they had a bunch. And let me tell you, this is one of the only series that DC has not collected into an omnibus. Alright? Is Weird War Tales. Weird War Tales is like one of those only comic books that has not been collected into an omnibus. So I love that James Gunn is bringing attention to the characters at DC that really matter, man. Like the Creature Commandos characters. We need Constantine too, with Keanu Reeves for sure. Alright, we definitely need a sequel to Constantine, because the Constantine movies were great. But basically, if you like that first volume, right, that first appearance or volume of Wolverine that Frank Miller wrote, where Wolverine is like in Vietnam, see, look at this. This is a UFO in Egypt. Okay? This is a UFO in Egypt. But I mean, this is still to this day one of the best comic books ever printed. Alright, so in the war between DC versus Marvel, the DC superheroes, just because they have Batman alone is a cooler character than anything at Marvel. Okay? So I'm just these comics across the centuries, death always wins. Yeah, man. Creature Commandos. Amazing, amazing. This is exactly what comic book fans needed. This is exactly what comic book fans wanted. The show is its own take on these characters. Don't get me wrong. The show is its own take on these characters. But see, this is the cover of their first appearance. And the show is a modern take. Like I said, is a modern take, and it has original characters. It has like this Creature the Black Lagoon type of girl, and the last episode revolves around that little creature. And she was great. There's all these different characters. And it's for adults. It's not for kids. This show is totally for adults. Streaming on Max. If you like the video, it really helps me out when you like the video. So, like the video, and I want to hear your thoughts. Did you like this show? And written by James Gunn, Guardians of the Galaxy, the Suicide Squad, the second one, Check it out.